Have you been watching Britain's Most Expensive Houses on Channel 4? I know I have, and I've been lucky enough this year to be travelling the country, meeting some of the stars of the show. Myself and Elizabeth, we've been to the Midlands, we've been to Essex, we've been to Oxford, even down to the island of Jersey. But today we are here in Wales, and I'm here to meet Jemma Friday from Fine Country Cardiff. I'm meeting her here at the Celtic Manor Resort. I want to understand a day in her life. She's also listing the most expensive property in all of South Wales. So let's go inside and meet her. So Jemma, thank you ever so much for meeting me today. It's a pleasure to see you. And should I be a bit starstruck as you're going to be on Channel 4's Britain's Most Expensive Houses? How was that experience for you?
Do you know, it was so great. It was really fun. So we did a day where we went up with John Hanford's. That was really nice because that gave me a bit of an idea of what to expect, how it was going to be, and to ease us in with lots of other agents there. So yeah, I mean, it was a really great day. It's fascinating to see how much goes on behind the scenes and how much actually goes into it. So
yeah, it's a much bigger production than what we've got here today, isn't it? I'm very excited to see your episode, and it's of course exciting to see Fine Country feature on TV as well. So tell me a little bit about your journey into Fine Country, or first your journey into property. Have you always been in property?
Even as a kid, I used to like walk past windows, you know, when their lights are on, and I'd be like looking in and looking at what people, like how they'd set their house up, what their furniture was like, and just always had a keen interest. So I started to apply. I was living in Cheltenham at the time, so I applied, I think, to every agency between Cheltenham, Bristol, Cardiff, and I ended up, there was a small independent agency just outside of Cheltenham, and I'd hounded this poor guy relentlessly. And he was actually going on holiday, and he called me up and said, look, the person that was due to start, this is a sales manager role, I wanted somebody with experience, but I'm going on holiday for 2 weeks and they're not going to show up. They're not coming. He said, so I just need somebody here. So I went, and I kind of was thrown in the deep end, and maybe it was meant to be. He came back, and I worked there, and it was kind of like we did everything. So we did everything from sales progression, valuations, the lot. And I guess, and that was really great, and there were some lovely properties, but there was no progression. He owned the company, he wasn't particularly old, so I then moved to a large corporate and was in Cheltenham then and worked back up through the ranks. I ended up becoming one of the youngest branch managers in that region, and that was great. And then I came back to Cardiff, took over a branch here, and I saw an advert for Fine Country, and I took the plunge to go into that from full time, and then just got started, got my first listing, sold it, and then COVID hit. So I was like, what a time to go self-employed and have no money. So that was that. We kind of went through COVID, and of course then the property market really boomed after that. And it was just great. And I suppose after COVID is really where that journey then started. And yeah, I just loved it. And I think for me, having all of the experience, you know, it's maybe like 14, 15 years now of traditional agency, and then really being able to bring that into my own business and, you know, kind of work how I want to, especially at the upper end of the market, which is being in the Cotswolds, that's where I was anyway, has just been great. And to be able to build those relationships with clients and just see how Cardiff's grown. You know, over the last couple of years, I've been really proud of the growth that we've had and the exposure and the success that we've had. So it's been, it's been a great journey so far.
Well, you were definitely ahead of the curve with your whole adoption of the self-employed model, weren't you? So it was perfect time to, at the time it might not have seemed the perfect time with COVID, but actually it's starting then and coming out of COVID, and like you say, experiencing this boom of property and being right on the forefront of that. And like you said, Fine Country Cardiff has gone from strength to strength. You've got so many great people working alongside you. How does it feel to have the support of all of those people while you are kind of remote working and working really quite on your own? How is it to have that support network of agents?
Do you know, I'm the biggest advocate for Fine Country, and I'm not being biased, but I think, you know, when I was taking the plunge to go into self-employment, I had looked at whether I would set up a business on my own, and I'd seen lots of, you know, high street agents that opened up and closed very quickly. And I think what I really loved about the brand is actually, you know, the backing that we do have. And I really try and get this across to people. yes, we work, on our own in the sense that we're self-employed. But as a team, we've got a fantastic marketing team. We've got a head office that are a huge support, even just like what we're doing today. We've got offices all over the UK and internationally. And I think we really do have bonds with all of those people. The network's very close. If somebody said to me, I want to sell in the south of France or I want to sell in Germany, like I would easily be able to tell you who you need to speak to because we are very well connected. And then even just our team here, we've got a fantastic team, even just in our South Wales region here. We go out together all of the time. We've recently been away to America for the conference. And, I'm really fortunate that we work with such lovely people surrounding us. And then everything from our, video teams, the admin support that we have. So it doesn't really feel like you're on your own ever.
No.
And if I was to go on holiday tomorrow, there's a full team of people here that would be able to help and be with my clients. So it's kind of a really nice mix of both, actually.
Yeah. And do you know what? It makes so much sense now that you say that you started in marketing at university, because you have got that flair and that understanding for how important a modern marketing strategy is in property.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
you really put quite a big push on social media, don't you? Why do you think that is so important in today's world of selling property? Especially the sort of properties that you're selling as well.
100%. I think, this is most people's biggest asset, whether that home is 200,000 or £2 million. So you want to make sure that you're showcasing it in the best light. And, I always say to people, even if sometimes clients say, well, where we sell sells straight away. And it's like, great, let's sell it for the best price then.
Yeah.
Let's absolutely go to town on it and make sure that we're getting the absolute maximum. And I think, like you said, working in the luxury end of the market, and especially here in Wales, the pool of buyers is a lot less than it may be in London or the outskirts. So we really need to expose the property to a much wider audience to make sure that we're pulling in those high net worth clients, we're showcasing why it's great to live here. And, you can get so much through with a video that you can't necessarily get through with print. And I think a lot of people don't realise how well connected Cardiff is. I mean, I can be in Paddington Park Lane office, an hour and a half on the train.
Yeah.
10 minutes in an Uber and I'm in Park Lane. So actually sometimes I can get to London quicker than people can living on the outskirts. And I think for me, I'm always really trying to showcase that to buyers, to try and find buyers for our clients' homes. And I also think the way that people buy things these days has changed, whether it's property or clothes, wherever it may be. And people are on their phones scrolling through and, you've only really got a second to really catch somebody's attention. So by doing the reels and the social media, that's what we're looking for. We need that engagement to get eyes onto our clients' homes.
Yeah. And one of your listings that I briefly mentioned outside in my introduction is a place called Foxfield, and that's had a lot of media attention, a lot of video content. Can you tell us a little bit about that property? So what is it? It's the most expensive in South Wales at the moment?
Currently the most expensive house in South Wales.
Wow. And how much is it?
It's on for 8 million.
8 million. And tell me a bit about it.
So, I mean, this house it's fantastic. And the second that you open the gates, you've got this amazing sweeping driveway. There's water features, there's ponds everywhere. It's really beautiful. So the current owners originally knocked down what was the original house, and where Foxfield now was tennis courts. So it was a complete labour of love. They had the architect in, they built it, they used loads of local trades. And although it's it spans 24,000 square foot, so it's massive.
Yeah.
But it feels really homely.
Yeah.
So I think it's really evident when you go in that it's been a family home and they've really thought about how they're going to use the space. And that property actually came on with another agent originally.
Okay. Yeah, tell us the story about how you came to be selling Foxfield.
Well, actually, so I saw it come on with another agent, and it's really funny because we've got a WhatsApp group with, as I said, all of us are very well connected here. And I said, I'm going to get that house. That's it, I'm taking it. So I began sending letters and different things. And then the one day I drove up there and I think a cleaner had just come out and I was going to leave something because, the gates are ages away from the property. You can't even see the house. It's so private. So the gates opened and I thought, I'm just going to go. It's meant to be. So I drove up and actually there was a lovely lady there that was working at the property. And I'd handwritten this letter explaining to them what we do, what I thought was missing. It had a video, but it wasn't presenter-led. And then I'd mentioned that we were due to be filming at the time with Britain's Most Expensive Homes, and I thought it would be great exposure for them. So I just basically said, like, here's some details. I'd left a magazine and stuff. And weeks went by, I continued to send letters, didn't hear anything. And then one day I was just in the car and I got a missed call, and I listened to the voicemail, and it was the son-in-law who was handling the sale saying, look, we got your letter a few weeks ago, things haven't really progressed, let's have a chat. So we did.
The perseverance.
yeah.
You made it happen though. You spoke it into the universe. You said, I'm going to get that sale. You manifested it, that's the word. You said, I'm going to get the sale of that property. And you did. Congratulations. That also is not just the Fine and Country difference, but the personal approach, isn't it? By handwriting a letter, by not just going in there and saying, I want to sell your house, by going in there and saying, I'm going to sell your house and this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to do point A, point B. So that's fantastic that you got that. So what are we going to be doing today, Gemma? What have you got lined up for me? Because I know I want to be here to experience a day in the life. I mean, you could have told the sun to come out. That would have been a bit nicer, but at least it's stopped raining. Yeah, welcome to Wales. So what are we doing today?
So I think obviously we're here in the lovely Celtic Manor today, and we spend a lot of time here doing different meetings, so it's quite a nice place to meet. I'm going to take you to Sutton Farm, one of my listings that's on at 2.4 million. Really lovely owners there. They love their house. They've got a lovely story, and they're going to have a chat to us and tell us a little bit about kind of what their house has meant to them. And then I'm going to take you on to Penarth, which is probably one of my favourite places in Cardiff, or the outskirts of Cardiff. Always named in the top 10 places to live in the UK.
Ah, nice.
Fantastic schools. You've got the lovely pier there in the seafront, so we'll head down there. And I've just taken a listing on there for 3.5 million, which if I won the lottery tomorrow, that is what I would buy. It's got a beautiful swimming pool at the back. It's got a large annex. It's got a lovely mix of period and modern features. So
lovely. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing that, and I'm looking forward to meeting your sellers as well. I think we should sit here, finish our coffees, take in the view. I can see what is the channel that I can see there? I don't know my geography well.
That is the Bristol Channel.
The Bristol Channel.
I just had to think about that before I said that. We've got the Welsh flag, the Bristol Channel.
Yeah, it's a lovely view. Let's finish our coffee and then we'll go and meet your sellers.
Lovely.
Thank you. So here we are at Sutton Farm. Thank you very much for having us, Cheryl and Phil. Gemma, first could you maybe tell us a little bit about the location? Where are we right now?
So we're in Penarth at the moment, which we're about 15 minutes outside of Cardiff city centre. And this is one of my favourite places. There's so much going on here, and Sutton Farm itself, as we said earlier, is just a little haven tucked away. It's really private.
Dead quiet. I can't hear a single thing outside. I don't know if your walls are just incredibly thick or if we are in a truly tranquil area.
It's always quiet. Sit outside and all you can hear the birds.
Perfect. Sounds like a dream. So how much is this on the market for?
So it's currently on for 2.4 million.
2.4 million. And guys, I want to hear from you what it's like to really live here. So how long have you been here, first of all?
Almost 20 years.
Yeah.
20 years. Yeah. And have you loved it as much as it feels like you love it?
It's been idyllic.
Yeah.
And it's a rural haven because, like you just mentioned, you can't hear anything. And like Philip said, it's only bird song.
So
and
peaceful.
If you're sat outside, all you hear are the birds, and then occasionally the waves crashing down on the beach.
Yeah.
Lovely.
So it is
jet
fabulous.
ski going through. You can hear that.
Are you a jet skier?
No.
No?
Not these days.
So is there lots of wildlife around here? Because you're kind of in the middle of nowhere, aren't you?
Fabulous. I am an animal person, and ever since we've lived here, I've tamed multiple foxes, and I feed them every night. And they come and wait just where I feed them, and they're there like clockwork.
Yeah, our very own Welsh Snow White. Lovely. So tell me a little bit about Sutton Farm. So how many bedrooms have you got here?
We've got 7.
7 bedrooms. And what about the layout? Because I had a little bit of a tour through earlier and I was looking through some of the photos, and there's lots to this home, isn't there? Yes. So it's not just a family home.
It's very adaptable to all sorts of living.
Yeah, it's
hugely versatile,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
So did you build it from scratch?
No, the house was built
Yeah.
in 2004, the original house that we're in now. And then we had an annex built 5 years ago because we had family here as well.
Yeah.
We've just left it because if you want to go and sit on your own,
Yeah.
just go and
Yeah.
sit on your own.
If you've had an argument, you can be separate sides of the
You
house.
might never see each other.
Perfect.
There were originally 7 of us living
Yeah.
here.
Oh, so a full house.
Grandparents and
Yes.
my daughter's family as well.
Yeah.
Lovely. So you had that annex space so that people could have their own area.
Exactly.
Is that pink room part of the annex? I think that might be my favourite.
No, it's not.
I think that's where I would
the
be setting
original
up.
house.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So there's lots of opportunity, like you said, Gemma. Who do you think's going to buy a property like this? Is it going to be an investment property? Is it going to be commercial, residential? What do you think?
Do you know, I think we've said this before, it's hugely versatile, and I think with the marketing that's what we've really tried to get across, because this suits a large family. If you had, teenage children, especially because it's so hard to get into the property ladder, they could live at home, have their own entrance, their own parking, their own garden space. And there's a full 2-bed property there with a large kitchen, a huge kitchen. It would suit if you had somebody coming back from maybe London and they want to semi-retire but still keep busy. You could completely separate it. It has its own utilities, and you could run a holiday let. You could rent it out full time. I mean, Cardiff has got so much going on with the stadium,
Yes.
concerts and rugby days and everything else. So you could run a really successful holiday business there, Airbnb. Or as you had in the past, if you've got elderly family members, especially after COVID, I think everybody wants their family a bit closer these days. It's absolutely perfect for that. So it just suits a multitude of buyers, I think.
Yeah,
but it really does need, we're sat in 3 acres. It needs people to fill it now.
Yes.
Definitely. Someone to love all of this space. And I noticed behind us there is a swimming pool as well.
Yes.
So there's so much here. It could even be like a mini hotel, couldn't it? Because you've got the long drive, all of the bedrooms.
Almost a football pitch.
Yeah.
It feels like it, yeah.
Have a tennis court over
Yes.
there. I mean, you actually could very easily, you could put stables on here.
You could.
Easily.
You've got access down to the seafront. So I think you could almost, if you wanted to, make this a little boutique sort of hotel or a little venue, wedding venue. It'd be perfect.
Lots of
Perfect,
opportunity
Put the
here.
pool in about 10 years ago,
Yes,
and
yeah.
we had a dome put on it because that keeps it warm. It's
Yeah.
almost like a greenhouse.
Lovely.
So
And it fully opens out.
it hardly
doesn't it?
takes
So
anything to heat the pool because it heats itself.
Yeah.
You've got
Well,
all the solars, haven't you?
Yes.
so there's solar panels as well. So you've really future-proofed
Yes.
this place. You've thought of everything.
Yes.
Yeah, and that pays us quite a lot, the solar.
Yeah, so it's a good investment to do, definitely. So tell me a bit about your journey to coming on the market. You're obviously with Gemma from Fine Country now.
Well, we've been with Jemma for a few months now. We went with Jemma because, number one, she was very persistent in contacting us.
That's good.
And once we met her, we thought, yes, this is the right fit for us. Because obviously she knows exactly how to market a property.
We see some of her videos, which were very professional.
Yes, that's what brought us really. And like I say, once we met Jemma, that was it. We just felt like it was hand in glove.
Yeah,
Really. It
brilliant.
was a good fit.
Because we were saying earlier when we were at Celtic Manor how you had brought Foxfield onto market by sending them a handwritten letter and, like you say, being persistent. So that kind of is the difference, isn't it? You're not just selling an estate agency service, you're selling yourself and saying, look, let me get in front of you and tell you a bit about myself and we can do this journey together. That's the difference, isn't it? Well, whoever does move in here will be very lucky indeed. And like you say, it only takes that one buyer. You're looking for that one perfect person. And with Fine Country, that's the difference, isn't it? It's going out and finding that person because you've got so many different channels where you can find that person. And someone out there is looking for their dream 7-bedroom, 3-acre, beautiful property. So thank you ever so much for having us here today. We've really appreciated it. Gemma and I are going to go and explore the local area so that we can see kind of what you have enjoyed so much about this space. So thank you very much.
Thank you for coming. We really appreciate it.
we
Nice
have.
to meet you too.
Yes.
Well, that was an absolute pleasure to meet Cheryl and Phil, and they even put on a spread for us with some sandwiches and macaroons, so we're very lucky. They're very nice vendors. You've done really well to secure them, so well done. And now we find ourselves about 1.5 miles down the road.
Yes.
Still in Penarth.
Yes.
At one of your newest listings. So tell us a little bit about this place.
So this house is, I mean, this is one of my favourite properties. I would absolutely love to move in here.
Yeah.
So Penarth on the seafront here, so Marine Parade is probably one of the most sought after roads in Penarth. You've got a bit of a sea view from the top floor. You're only a couple of minutes into the town centre, onto the pier at the front. This house is 5 bedrooms. You've also got the addition of this 3-bedroom coach house, which is completely separate. So you could either rent it out, or if you had family, obviously you've got this amazing pool area, outdoor kitchen, which, I mean, you could be on holiday here. So this is going to hit at 3.5 million, which in this area is pretty much kind of expected for the price. And yeah, it's just a gorgeous home. It's a real mix of Victorian charm, but it's got a modern twist on it as well.
And when the sun comes out, like it is now, it was really, really grey this morning when we started, and then the sun's been slowly coming out throughout the day. And when the sun comes out and hits this pool, you honestly could be anywhere in the world, couldn't you? Feels like I'm back in Jersey with Margaret.
Do you know, when we did the video here, we actually said, we did like a bit of a coming soon reel, and we were like, are we in Marbella or are we in Penarth? Because I mean, yeah, this could just be a luxury villa somewhere, couldn't it?
Yeah, this home is definitely built for entertaining, isn't it? You could have all of your guests out here surrounding the pool. Like you said, you've got the coach house, so you could have all of your guests stay over for the evening. We've got the summer room. There's even quaint little beach huts to get changed in. So yeah, this is definitely, like you said, where I'll be spending my lottery winnings, I think.
Absolutely. And then this kitchen area is fully equipped. You've got toilet in there, full kitchen, everything that you need. So in lockdown, they said they had a great time here.
I can imagine. And tell us a little bit about inside. You said that there was 5 bedrooms, did you say?
5 bedrooms in the main house. So they, again, are all slightly different. I mean, you'd think an interior designer had done this house. It's absolutely beautiful. You've got large open plan kitchen. There's a cellar. You have, on the top floor, you've got this huge bar and kind of games room up there with a big snooker table. And then downstairs you've got 3 main reception rooms, as well as kind of like little office spaces and things as well.
Stunning. Well, you've sold it to me. Shall we go and have a little tour around together?
Yes, absolutely.
Perfect. We really have seen all of the weather today. Wales has gifted us with rain in the morning and now this beautiful sunshine, and what a perfect way to end today than on Penarth Pier. Jemma is listing truly some of Britain's most expensive houses in a perfect setting. Subscribe to the Fine Country YouTube channel so that you can see even more of our luxury estate agents listing some of the finest homes in the country. Watch the Beyond the Property series and I'll see you next time.